At the end of the day, I tell people it's so easy to do. It really is at the end of the day.
It's just a decision.
Yeah,
you have
it's
to
a
make that decision.
Discipline, and consistent. Like, just keep doing it. Like, don't give up.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Connections podcast. My name is Cindy Chase and we have a great show for you today. Every week on Coffee Connections podcast, we talk to somebody new so that you can get to know them at the same time as I get to know them. This week, our special guest is 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬. Murray is a personal coach. He and his wife, Christine, are owners of 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 Holistic Nutrition and Wellness. They're passionate about helping you become the best version of yourself. Oh, hey, if you haven't already subscribed, do you want to do me a favor and subscribe? Hey, have you already subscribed? Hello and welcome to Coffee Connections podcast. Today our special guest is 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬. He is an online personal trainer. Welcome, Murray.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
My pleasure. Please tell me how you got into fitness training and that kind of lifestyle.
Well, I've been in the gym for 33 years this year. And around 2009, a lot of people kept approaching me, saying, you should be a trainer, And it's going to sound bad. I'm like, no, I don't want to babysit people. That was my train of thought back then. But as time went on, I says, I see a value in this. Because people kept asking for advice or help or whatever. I says, maybe I can start making a career of this. So I went to school, went to NAIT, Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, took the personal training program. I learned quite a bit. However, it was after I graduated, I just found that it was just the tip of the iceberg for information.
What do you mean?
I expanded. So one of the certifications I got was corrective exercise. I was absolutely fascinated with corrective exercise, being able to help people fix deficiencies in muscular firing, movement, things of that nature, right? Biomechanics. I found that working with clients that I was getting information that, they said it was this way, but I've got the complete opposite with my client. So I knew there was more. I knew there was something I was missing. I decided to start doing more research. I took a course. I became certified in pre and post rehab training. So I'm a medical exercise specialist as well. At the beginning, asked me what advice is the hats I wear, right? Yes. So it's been absolutely incredible to be able to help people with, spinal issues, lower back, knees, shoulders, you name it, I can help them. And then from there, I kept learning and I found some really good people online that I laugh with my wife, Christine, where I says, these guys are like giving all this information. I know it's to get clients. I'm like, oh my God, this is gold. I'm getting a free education. Yeah, so the training part, 14 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, in-person training and just recently starting to migrate onto online training.
How does that work? Like a Zoom call or something?
Basically what it is I'm going to back up here for a moment. There was another bit of education I got. I went and became a life coach because I found that it was great down here, but it was between the gray matter between ears I was having a little bit of trouble with. So now I have that into my repertoire of tools for my clients. So I incorporated the two so that to answer your question, what I'm doing for my clients for the online training is they get access to an app. I send them the programs that they do. Actually, obviously I have to meet them and they have to meet certain criteria. I just won't take anybody. Like they get for example, got to commit to at least 3 times a week, the nutritional aspect, stuff like this, 3-month commitment because people want to come in a month. Well, I didn't lose anything. Well, you got to give it time. So there's that. I throw in accountability call. They can email me once a week. At the end of the month, and the 4th week, we'll have a sit down 15 to 30 minute, even 1 hour coaching call if need be, seeing where they're at, wherever they need help with.
𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 Holistic Nutrition and Wellness.
That's correct, yes.
Can you tell us how you got the name 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬? It's a cool name.
It stands for Keep It Super Simple Every Day. So it was kind of because you hear the 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬 principle, and my wife and I, when we were deciding on the name of the company, we thought, well, let's come up with something a little different. And so I go, what about every day? 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬. So that's what came to be.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So how did you actually start working out? Was it like out of school, or were you in football and they had your training and then you were hooked? Tell us that story.
So yeah, it would have been officially March of 1991 was when I started. But before that, I dabbled in it. Like at the old York barbell set at home and stuff like that when I was in junior high. And moved to St. Albert summer of 1989. Got a gym that is no longer here. And I look back, those guys must have been old school bodybuilders must have been laughing because I had no idea what I was doing. But primarily, no word of a lie, I used to get picked on when I was, I was like 6 foot, but really like 155 pounds. Get picked on. I said, I got tired of this. I'm like, you see like the old Charles Atlas, kicking the sand in the face in his, thing on the back of the comic books type of thing.
I remember that.
And then of course action movies, had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jean-Claude Van Damme and all these guys, Sylvester Stallone, Rambo and all this. And it's like, that was the big thing back then. So it was just to put on muscle, get stronger really. And, that I found, and then as it continued on, got, had married, had kids and 3 beautiful daughters who are now, adults, but when they were really younger, it's like, oh yeah, Dad had his made sure that his arms were visible, so to speak. Like, I got feedback from the girls,
you showed the boyfriends your guns.
Yeah. So now that they're growing up, it's like I have to find something else. So now it's just more about function, really.
Yeah,
I just know the function everyday life. Being healthy.
Who is your ideal client? If somebody's thinking of hiring you, what type of person would that be?
I normally work with women who are 40 years old or older, 40 plus, and who are looking to regain, I like to say, regain their strength and unshakable confidence to do what they used to do. Primarily, my clients in person have all been ladies, like women, older women. I noticed they had one thing in common.
What's that?
Was the music they like to listen to, and even when they grew up.
80s?
Yeah. Poison, Rat, all the hair metal. So I was full of the idea. It's like, how about ladies, get back to your strength and confidence you had back when you were in your teens and early adulthood. You can put on those standard packs, maybe not the big hair, but you can get back.
Look at me.
So that's the ideal client. And people go, well, what about the guys? I will work with a gentleman, but sorry guys, I hate to break this to you. The ladies have you beat. Ladies, you show up with no ego. You've got your goal in mind that you told me. And it's 100% focus, right? I've got a client right now who's in person. She's been with me for about 3 years now again. And she's lost well over 80 pounds.
Is there ever an end? Is there ever okay, you're done? Or is it more of like a support thing and, hey, why don't you try some of these new exercises I've come across?
It's a bit of A and B. It really comes down to the client. Some people I've had, they go. The client I just spoke to, she says, as long as I'm doing this, she's coming. Because she likes the fact that she can come in, get a good workout. And I see this a lot where people say, the reason they would hire someone like me is I have it all figured out for them. They just have to show up, work out, work hard, and then they go on their own. Now, mind you, I do give them homework.
What kind of homework?
So I want people, like, obviously we can still, well, you guys can't see this, but we're looking out the window behind the camera where it's nice outside. It's beautiful outside. We've had a great fall. Great summer, great fall. Get out and walk. So I tell people, I want at least say 2 days a week, whether you go for a walk or go for, or if you go to the gym, go walk on the treadmill, ride the bike, do some kind of low intensity conditioning. And I tell people, it's not to lose body fat. That's the last thing you should be thinking of. It's about recovery from your weight training sessions, but also your cardiovascular health. And people will say, well, Maria, I want to lose weight. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're still burning calories, but don't make that your focus because you'll stop going. Once you see how it affects the other workouts in your recovery, you'll stick with it longer.
And muscle weighs more than fat. So like if they're just stepping on the scale every morning, it's, oh shoot, I haven't lost any weight, but their pants are fitting better, they look better.
That's totally true. I've lost count how many times that's happened. I've worked with somebody for about a month or two. They get mad at me or they're upset because the scale isn't really good. First question, how are your clothes fitting? Well, they're looser. And I just kind of give them that. And they're like, oh, you see the light bulb go up. Like, yes, you're putting on muscle, but you're losing fat, which is what you want.
So do you train anybody at your gym? Like, will you meet them in there in person or do they have their own trainers and they don't let you do that?
Yeah, unfortunately. So when I train somebody in person, I actually have a home gym here in an attached garage.
Oh, okay.
It's rare that you can go to another gym and go, oh yeah, come on and train. And I won't even do that if they have trainers because that's where I started out in a commercial gym when I first got into this industry and training while I was in school. And I would see that people would bring in friends and I'd have to like the manager have to go kick him out or warn them because so I know what it's like. If I were to do that, I'm taking food off somebody else's table.
Right.
So I wouldn't do that.
Right.
However, online training, yes, I would obviously like them to have a membership, and then that way they get all the information, all the support that they go do it on their own.
You must recommend certain foods in a diet. How do you determine a person's nutritional needs?
Depending if they want to put on muscle, lose fat, or hybrid, both, it can be done. I basically have 4 pillars of health that people have to follow, especially if they're looking to lose weight or get healthier. So the first one is eliminate sugars. Yes. You have to eliminate sugars. Now, there's monk fruit. You get like a coffee here. I've got I've got some coconut sugar in there, just for sweet stuff like that. So that's the first one. That is like, especially because the sugars are everywhere, especially the refined sugars. The second one is carbs. Now, myself, I'm on pretty much no carb diet. It's extremely low. I'm lucky if I get 30 grams in a day. Okay. So either eliminate carbs or greatly reduce them. And if you're still gonna have carbs, make sure they're healthy, not starchy carbs like
what
potatoes.
What do you eat for carbs?
I were to have, I like sweet potatoes, right? There's a reason why I don't do many carbs. We can get into that later. Yeah. It's a health issue thing. So, but I found that when people do that is when I would have carbs, I noticed my food cravings would go up. And now that I've done it, and my long-term client has followed this, and sure enough, their cravings have all gone down. The third one is really caught traction in the past, say, 10 years, and that's wheat and gluten. If you can avoid it, eliminate it as best you can, because it's been so changed in the laboratory stuff like that. We don't get real wheat anymore. Like I said, just what would their ancestors used to have compared to now. Right. But that's due to inflation. Now it's the fourth one, and I actually did a post on this today on seed oils. Have to eliminate the seed oils. For example, canola oil. Everybody knows canola oil. I encourage all of your listeners and watchers to go look into the history of canola oil. I'll give you a little spoiler alert. It was an engine lubricant. That's what it started off in the late 1800s, and they're linking a lot of it to obviously inflammation. And ever since my wife and I've eliminated, what a huge difference in how we feel. So those are the 4 things. I tend to people higher protein, higher healthy fats. Now, people go, well, Murray, what about cholesterol? I said, well, got some news on that for you. It's not bad. We need cholesterol. The brain is like a good portion of the brain is fat, and that's its main food.
Is that like egg yolks?
Yeah, egg. Like I eat 4 whole eggs a day. Sometimes I'll eat 6. Depending on my nutritional needs of that. For that day. There's a big
misconception.
A big I want to say renaissance, for lack of a better term, that I'm seeing out there. Like, for example, I'm carnivore. So I eat meat.
Me too.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
It's so you'll
I'm going to the keg for supper tonight.
Yeah, so you'll know exactly the benefits of it. Quick story here. Last year we went to Jamaica in November, and I've got an autoimmune condition. I'll talk about it real quick. It's called Grover disease. So I get these red itchy bumps on my obliques and on my back. So when I went, we said June of last year, Christine, wife says, we've got nothing else to lose. The dermatologist, you're sorry about your luck. Here's it, NDH cream. Right?
Sorry about your luck.
So we did it, and within about a month, it greatly reduced. And then in August of last year, I thought, hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'll have some sugar, some gluten, had some burgers and stuff. 3 days later, I had a major flare-up. And it was so bad, it hit me immune-wise so bad, I was lucky if I could work out 2 or 3 days a week. I have to work out, and then I have to take a day or 2 off. So I wasn't doing any cardio or weights. Well, I'm picking weights, Wow. My goal was to get to 210. I haven't been that light, or that light, I guess, that weight for years. The day before in November, I weighed myself, I was 208. I weighed myself last week. I'm still 208. Wow. I tell people, it says, cardio is, obviously cardiovascular work, it's important for heart health and things of that nature. But to lose weight, I says, it is primarily done in the kitchen, because I see people like, I can eat. There's always that saying, you can't outwork a bad diet, right? And a bad diet doesn't have to mean necessarily junk food. It's those 4 things I mentioned: sugar, a lot starchy carbs or high carbs, wheat, gluten, and of course seed oils. So you get those under control. Anybody I've worked with, it's amazing. They're just amazed at how different they feel when they do it. So yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I like about bodybuilding or, working out and diet is you can control how your body looks and you're in control. You can't blame anybody else for that 2 sizes too big around your waistline type thing, right? But that also means that you can manage that and reduce it as well, right?
Exactly. I just found out an old client, she went through some challenges, in her personal life and stuff like that, and put on 50 pounds. I'm like, it's so frustrating. It's just like, I've taught you, but that's what happens. And again, going back to the coaching, that's why I also got the coaching in. At the end of the day, I tell people it's so easy to do. It really is at the end of the day.
It's just a decision. You have to make that decision.
Discipline, and consistent. Like, just keep doing it. Like, don't give up. Once you eliminate those 4 pillars, especially the sugar and the carbs, those are the 2 big ones for craving, because I've done that. Had it where we've had my wife made some mashed sweet potatoes with God of butter, so good. But I have some. What happens? Later that day, I get a craving for something sweet or whatever. So it's a lifestyle, but it's something that I'll do for the rest of your life. I'm sure that you will as well. Tell people, give it 6 months. They're like, why did I know about this before? Right. And how great they feel. So,
What are your thoughts on apple cider vinegar to keep your pH balance level?
So I actually do take that. We get the capsules, and then we also get in capsule form digestive enzymes. As we age, we start producing less. So that's the reason why I said, apple cider vinegar. I'm a big proponent. So I'm glad to see that there's this shift. Like I keep saying, this shift. It makes me happy, because I was actually getting kind of worried there for a while, being in the health industry. It seems like we're fighting an uphill battle. Yeah. But now there's all this information's come out, and there's too many testimonies out there of people. Now doctors are getting on board, and everything we've been through the past few years, like no matter which side of the fence you sit on, COVID or anything like that, like there's just been a great awakening. Which has really been refreshing. Like just warms my heart to say, okay, we're moving in the right direction now.
Exactly.
No, for sure. And the one thing I've learned with that too is you gotta, unfortunately, you really got to do your homework to see where it's sourced from. Because some of these guys are like, well, you mentioned apple cider vinegar. We used to get Bragg's. We don't anymore.
Oh, how come?
Because
they sold it.
They sold it. Katie and somebody else. We saw a bottle of it. We're like, that's what it looks like now, because we used to have.
I noticed that too. The mother is hardly there, and it's changed.
So unfortunately, you can tell the formulations changed. So I've never seen it tested, but your eyeballs don't lie. Like you're looking at it, it's like that is so diluted to what it used to be. So that's why we went to the capsules, and
I see.
So that way, it's I got the liquid stuff, like we got organic stuff, like like with water. But the capsules are just a little bit nicer, I tell people, if you can't do the liquid, do the capsule.
What is your goal? What for your business? Where do you see yourself 5 years down the road and 10 years down the road?
Part of the reason going online is a couple of reasons. So when I was like in person training, I've got a ceiling. I can only train so many people, right? Yeah. And it can be very love it. Don't get me wrong, but it can be very time consuming. The other thing is eventually we want to, move south. So, that white stuff that's going to fall, since we're not there. We see it in pictures when we come back to visit. We were like Texas or Mexico or something like that, whatever, maybe even Nevada. But we want to be able to travel more. So again, if I don't train somebody in person, I don't get paid, right? Whereas online, we've got our laptop, I can work from anywhere in the world. So that's where I like to see, and I do have, I'm still working on a family business, helping out. The transition happens from T4 job to, dream online training job. So, and that's the other thing, is just do that, and then that's it. And that's all I have to do, and just have a nice, block of clients. That there's that saying that you'll never work a day in your life if you love what you do. Right. And I love learning the online training. I'm not gonna lie, this is I can do this. Holy smokes, there's a lot to learn here, right? Just the business side of it and all this, but it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but so that's what I want to be. So I guess to me that would be retirement, right? If I could do that, or when I do that for full time, I'll be happy.
Will you, or do you have group sessions where, I know when you're doing your mentoring, it's more of a one. Can you do a group?
Yeah, if I decide that if people want that, I can certainly do that. Yeah, for sure.
Because then I know myself, if I'm part of a group and I see other people and hear their testimony and hear their experience and you're giving counsel to them, I also learn from that.
Yeah.
So you're reaching more people at the same time
Yeah,
as well.
eventually want to get something where, where you can build a community.
Yes.
Right? Do like a Facebook page. That would be,
Yeah.
I've thought about that, like mentioning again about like the hair metal, like the ladies all grew up with, right? A lot of them did. Where they can, hey, what's your playlist, or what's the song you're rocking out today, or just so that they can share and support each other. Do you want to get to a community of something like that? Yeah.
That's the second time you mentioned that, and the first time that you mentioned it, it occurred to me, like to really niche down divorced, like because they're broken. Often they're broken emotionally and they need mentoring and support, but also physically they need it all, right? That's a good niche. And because you're a guy, it's affirming attention, non-threatening, affirming attention.
Yeah, and that's especially online, because I know that's, my wife has told me, we had a client who was coming, oh, my husband get me a membership at his gym, I get trained there. Chris looked at me and she goes, yeah, it's because you're a guy. Her husband stepped in. It wouldn't be the first thing. I get it. In the world we live in, I totally get that. I totally understand. But that's like that. That barrier is broken down with online training. But the divorce part, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
So you'll get a residual kickback for that one, I promise you. When that takes off.
Well, folks, what else do you want to know from Murray? If somebody's got some specific questions, how can they contact you?
You can contact us through the website.
Okay.
Also, please look me up on social media.
We'll put all those links down below.
Yes, by all means, shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to help you. Any questions you have, I'm not the type of person who you got to work with me to get it. No, I don't believe in that. I believe that someone comes with a question and I want to help them. Please, by all means, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you. The one thing I tell people, listen, it's not what I know. It's not what I do. It's what you'll become as a result of what I do and what I know.
Well, thank you very much, Murray.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, folks. Please reach out to Murray. Have a look at his social media sites. Follow him, comment, and let's make ourselves better so we can have a better future. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Our special guest next week is Adrian Armstrong of Vernon, BC, Canada. He helps people improve any health conditions without drugs or invasive therapies, a natural way to have good health. He's going to talk about electromagnetic field therapy, and I use that every night, actually. I have an electromagnetic field therapy mat on my bed so that every night when I go to sleep, I am detoxifying my body of negative electromagnetic fields from sitting in front of a computer, my cell phone, anything that is not au naturel. So that's why I look so great at 61. And you can too. So if you want to learn about that, come back next week. Better yet, why don't you subscribe to this channel and I will send you an update. Why not? So we're still working on the logo for Rylex Digital Productions, but we've moved it from this podcast to Master Graphics Marketing and Design YouTube channel. If you're interested in following the progress of that logo design, I've put the link down below this video and you can check that out yourself. So I want to thank Murray Oleksin for the time that he spent with me. All right. See you later, everybody. See you later, Gator. Bye.